All right, going live here. Gonna start checking out pre-market, see what's going on. Start reviewing some stocks in a few minutes. Just a couple minutes. Gonna start reviewing stocks. Try to build a pre-market watch list plan before the market opens. All right, so I'm gonna start looking at the top gainers and just start building a plan for our watch list. So we have CSPR. Got some news. Let's find out what the news is. CSPR. Cspr sleeve to be acquired. Anytime there's an acquired stock, usually that brings in some hype. Hey, what's going on? So we are streaming live on YouTube. If you want to see on screen, if you're on Instagram, you can follow the YouTube one. Okay, so CSRP. The first stock we're looking at is CSPR. Oh, it's already had a major spike. So it had this big spike pre-market. A lot of people traded this pre-market, already up 100%. So usually when you have a stock that has a catalyst and it spikes up that much pre-market, by the time it opens, there might be a big sell-off. People want to take their profits. And depending where the hype is, it may get bought up again in some support area. But I don't really trade stocks like this that just make such a big move pre-market. I gotta wait till there's some sort of consolidation to build some support and resistance. So CSPR, which is one of the top gainer pre-market, I'm not jumping in that right now. It's got a lot of hype though. Let's see what the next stock is. And it's going to be hard for me to navigate. I got a bunch of screens. If you're on Instagram, I'll kind of show you. So I have about 6 screens. On YouTube, I can't really move the camera. It's kind of fixed. But I'm trying to put as much as I can on one screen, the screen that I'm sharing on YouTube, so that people can see what I'm looking at. But usually I'm not using half of these screens right now because I'm putting most of my stuff on YouTube. So the first stock we looked at was CSPR. It's not interesting to me right now because it's made such a big move. And if people traded it pre-market, I mean, they made a killing, went from 363 to 683. It's a big move. All right, so next stock. Let's see. EYPT has some news. Let me see what EYPT. EYPT. This is on the 13th. Third quarter results. GGPI. Good GGPI. GGPI. What kind of stock is this? Okay, so this is a little better. This chart to me looks a little bit better if you're gonna trade anything. So I had some news as a catalyst and spiked up a little bit with the news, then came back down. Now, what I wanted to see, usually I don't build my pre-market watch list until about half an hour before the market opens, in about 10 minutes. But I like to start seeing this to start building a channel. So that's pretty much one of my favorite setups for pre-market. I like stocks that have a catalyst, they spike up, and then if you put, like, I don't even have to put the Fibonacci retracement on this one. I can tell it hasn't retraced more than 75%. But if it retraces way too much, I lose a little interest in it. Look at here. So it hasn't given back a lot of its gains. So if it starts forming a channel, then that's that's when it'll catch my interest. I'll like to see a channel form, see where it bounces on support and where it finds some resistance. And then pre-market, if it starts coming upon the resistance, if it's able to break it and stay above it, that'll be my entry point. And if it holds, you know, take profit at the high of the pre-market. So that's usually called the pre-market breakout. And it's, if you find the right stock that fits your criteria, to me, I found that it has just a high probability of success trading it. So I'm going to keep this one watched, GGPI. I want to look at Tesla. I have Tesla here on my other screen, and Tesla's looking interesting. It's forming a channel. So at Tesla, I've made quite a bit of money on Tesla. I day trade Tesla quite often. So is short selling halal? There's difference of opinions. I would ask Joe Bradford, Sheikh Joe Bradford on that. I'm not going to try to answer that, but when I asked somebody, they told me that it's permissible, but they told me not to share it publicly yet because they're still researching it. So there's still some difference of opinions. I will tell you for sure that if you let's say you have a position and you have a covered call, like you have a position in Tesla, and you buy some puts, which is equivalent to short selling with options, and you're doing it to hedge your position to protect your profit, then I haven't heard much difference of opinions on that. But just straight short selling, there is some difference of opinion. So I don't want to speak on it until the person that I really respect wants to come out. But they're still doing research. But the evidence that they brought me, looks pretty intriguing. INTC. Now, are you asking about INTC for a day trade or like long term? So if you watch like my long term, my value stocks, Intel is in there. I've never day traded Intel, so I don't know if you're asking about day trading. If you're asking about long term, I do like Intel long term. I just put out a video this morning early on, and I sold my Best Buy position. And Best Buy, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I did a video a couple months ago. Okay, so and that's just in the background. That's from TD Ameritrade. That's just kind of like their squawk news. For day trading, excuse me. For day trading, I've never day traded Intel. I am invested in it for long term, and I do like it as a long term. I know the controversy with Intel is that they're a dying stock, that they're not going to be able to keep up with AMD and other competitors. And partially, true, they've had some steep competition, but they have way more cash flow than all those other companies. I think their management is really smart, and I think they actually had proposed some plans with the government a long time ago to cover like the shortage with chips. So I like Intel. I did a DCF, and just based off their free cash flow, based off, I think my assumptions were extremely low. That even if their revenue was like less than 3% per year, 2% a year, I did very conservative revenue. I felt that they should still be trading in the 60s or mid 60s. So you can catch the video I just put up. I showed when I did a video on Best Buy. Best Buy was undervalued when it was at 105, and that's when I did a video on it. And actually, I had showed it to Tom Nash, and I told him, we should, he should buy Best Buy, and he actually agreed. He said he did a DCF too to just trying to like see his assumption, and we pretty much came up with the same assumption that Best Buy was undervalued. And it just hit my price target of 130. It actually hit 135, but I had a DCF of 128. As far as day trading, it has a lot of volatility. I'll keep it on the watch right now. I'll see what it does. There's not much going on pre-market, but it is kind of forming a little channel here. So I'll keep watching that. But let me look at Tesla. So Tesla, I like Tesla. There's some people that just get really familiar and with certain stocks, and that's extremely important. You know, I get familiar with just a few patterns and a few stocks that I trade often. And usually you find that those types of day traders that are very particular, they found their niche, they found their comfort level, they're very successful. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to find your niche and you want to find where you're comfortable with. I like Tesla. I've been trading it for years. I feel like it's easier for me to anticipate their movements, and I made a lot of money in Tesla. So I'm gonna watch Tesla. And the next one, Airbnb. Let's see Airbnb. Airbnb looks good. Has there been any recent news on Airbnb? Let's see here. So nothing recent on Airbnb. No recent catalyst. But it is an interesting chart though. Let's see. On a bullish trend for a while, above all the moving averages. It's not really forming a channel right now. I would like to see it. I would like to see it flush down to 203 or something like that. If it kind of like sells off in the morning, like as soon as the market opens, I would like to see it. 203 would be medium support. 203 would be some support, but if that doesn't hold, there's a lot of support in this area here. These are strong pivot points, 201. So I'll keep that on watch too. I think ideally I would like to see a nice little flush drop and then maybe catch it on a bounce on a support. But if it spikes up and it hits, quickly and it hits 207, if you're okay with short selling, maybe get some puts. But it's an interesting stock. Let's see what else is on. All right, so Airbnb looks good so far. I think if I trade this, I would like to see it flush in the morning. But let's see what it does over the next 20 minutes. Let's see what else here. UAVS is spiking. Let's see UAVS. So you see UAVS spiked pre-market. So you see these preset lines here, these pivot points that I have plotted. Actually just barely passed it, wasn't able to break it and stay above it, and it reversed. But it may be forming a bull flag. I'm not going to trade this, but I just watching. So a bull flag, it may be forming a bull flag. What a bull flag is, you have your initial spike like this. Okay, people buying, 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 selling, 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 buy, sell. But people like, for example, here, this line here, if it lands there, people want to buy it and get support. So now people are watching this. So with technical analysis, just to uh, give you an idea, technical analysis is not absolute. It's based off of people's usual um, actions or usual way that they trade. So right now, there are people that are looking at this. They saw that this 304 has strong support, and usually a trader would see this candle and it looks like a bullish candle. It broke over this candle. So there may be people that start buying it. And the people that are buying it here, if it drops below this low, they're going to get out. This is their stop loss. But if it stays bullish, they're anticipating that it's going to retest the high. That would be the entry. So you see this candle, this was a big red candle. This was another big red candle. This was another big red candle. And this candle here opened up more bullish and opened up higher than this candle, right? So this candle's higher. So for the bull flag pattern, this is the entrance for people. You see here, it's starting. So you got in here at 308. Right now, there's people buying and there's people selling, and it's trying to make up its mind between the bullish people and the bearish people. So this trend right now, it is forming pretty much a perfect bull flag, and this is the exit. So if it taps down here, and if this doesn't hold, you'll see probably a quick flush, because then they're like, oh, okay, the bull flag didn't work. But the people that jumped in here, they're anticipating to get back up here to 335. And that's what a pretty well-known pattern bull flag, somewhat predictable. I would say about a 40, between maybe 40 and 50% success rate if you just trade bull flags. NVIDIA. Let me just see here. mRNA also got some really good news today, and it spiked up based off the news. So this mRNA is brings in a lot of attention. This is Tesla. I want to trade Tesla today too, but I don't want to see it spike too early or crash too early. I want to see this, like, just this kind of like formation. It's breaking out of it though. And I don't like that when it breaks out of it too early. Back to UAVS. NVIDIA, look at that, man. Wow. So so you see here this pivot point I had. This is a strong resistance, and to show it's broken this resistance, and a positive sign is as long as it now the when resistance becomes support, then it's like it's reaching a new tier now. It's like moving up, and it's higher. So that's really bullish. You see this? Looks like the Bears might be winning. This 304 doesn't hold, then they know that the bull flag failed. That's why I said the bull flag is really like 50-50. I mean, a little less than 50-50. So I mean, if you're a new day trader, when I started day trading 10 years ago, I would back then they didn't have software to keep track of your trades. I used to keep an Excel sheet, but now you have the software that you have software that does it for you. I used to keep an Excel sheet and I used to document every single trade that I did and pretty much find a pattern for my winning trades and find a pattern for my losing trades. And I would track, for example, like the market cap, the float of the stock, how many shares are circulating, um, what kind of catalyst, like what was the news, just a bunch of different categories. And then I would look at everything and see, okay, I was successful between these times. So like for me, for example, on Fridays are historically my worst day trading days. Hold up. Yeah, so yeah, just I started finding a few patterns that I liked, a few things that were comfortable, and anything that I had more than 70 plus success rate in day trading. Whenever you have that, then you stick with that. So I found just a few patterns, but bull flag patterns. Every once in a while I'll trade it. So if it's a good stock, it has a good catalyst, and it's got like a lot of momentum. So with day trading, it's wherever the crowd is, wherever they're trading, wherever the momentum is. Yeah, Mondays are a great day for day trading and swing trading. Fridays are definitely my worst. Like I, I've been tracking it for years and I can't catch a break on Fridays. So I don't try not to day trade on Fridays. Also, like after 10 a.m., I don't have a lot of success trading after the first 2 hours that the market's open. Um, and so find your patterns, find your weaknesses. It's not going to, maybe somebody has the best trading an hour before the market closes. For me, that's not my best time. My best time are the first 2 hours. My I try to just now limit myself. So it's all about emotion. It's so important to control emotion. I try to limit myself to 1 or 2 trades at most and not get greedy. And if I'm green on my first trade, usually my second trade is going to be a lot smaller because I want to keep my profits. And if I lose on the second trade, then I'll just call it a day and just keep my profits. The goal is to walk away with profit every day and it builds up. And don't feel bad if, you you make $100 for the day and the person trading next to you makes 10,000. You know what I mean? Like that's just going to happen sometimes. But if you take 100 every day, then after a few months you'll have your 10,000. Well, many months. But that's it. It's so for me, like if I have like a big green day, historically the next day I have my worst red days. So I had to remedy that. So if I have a big green day, a lot of times the next day I won't even trade. I'll just skip the next day trading because I don't know why. I mean, like I know it's the wrong mentality, but I'll go into the day thinking I have if I made like 6,000 today. Tomorrow when I trade, I'll have the mentality where I'll say, okay, I can be a little bit responsible. I can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more aggressive than I'm usually, you know, than I usually am. And it's because I feel like I have that $6,000 credit from the day before, and I know it's wrong. I know it's not the best way to trade, and I can tell myself that, but I still, I guess, not disciplined enough sometimes to control it. So if I have a big green day, the next day, more than likely, I just won't day trade at all, and I'll just wait till the day after, and I'll kind of go like reset with a new mentality and trade carefully. So this is still forming a bull flag. I just stuck on this, not interested in trading it, but just to show you, you know, how a bull flag looks. You can plot a line like this, and you plot a line. Let's see. So yeah, usually a bull flag. Thought it was going to start to form here, but pulled back. But it's still, the exit is it breaks below the 304. So it dipped slightly here, 303, but that's not enough to scare people off. Yeah, it's got to be a big, solid red candle, not just a little wick penny under the stop loss. So it still looked like it's forming a bull flag, and that's why they call it a bull flag. You see how it looks like a flag, and like I said, the strategy is, you have some green candles, it breaks out, and if you would have entered here, which some people did because it was a bullish candle, it opened up green, it opened up higher than this one. They're holding, it's consolidating, and they're not going to exit unless it's a solid flush be under 304. And that's when these people that bought it here are going to sell it, but they're anticipating that it's going to break out up here. So this is, like I said, this is a 50-50 pattern. I don't have a lot of success with bull flag, only in circumstances, just like a stock that's just hot, that just has a lot of attention. It's spiked up already too much and it's pulling back. So this was actually from the video I did. This is the Best Buy DCF. I did the video about, I think it was about 6 weeks ago, and I had a fair value of 135. At that time, it was trading at 104. And we look at Best Buy now, it's all the way at 135, but it was at 136. So look at all these green candles. So I did the video like right here. Let's see around here is when I made my video. But this is like this. I wasn't predicting that it was going to spike up this quickly. I mean, this is just, we're in a super bullish market. But I did feel it was undervalued at the time. It's about 15 minutes to the market opens. Got a few stocks on watch. Let's see the top gainers with news here. The Cspr still a top gainer. UAVS, which we saw was forming a bull flag. Let's see. It's still holding, I'm surprised. So that's usually like what they like to see, that is consolidating. But people get impatient like with day trading, so that's why I said it's a 50-50 with this bull flag pattern. I mean, either the the bulls, they're going to get tired of it and just sell and look for the next stock. We'll see who's going to win, the bulls or the bears. Ooh. Let's see, there's a few other stocks getting hype. Rblx is getting some hype. About 10 minutes till the market opens. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right, so about 9 minutes to the market. Let's see what's narrowed down to a few stocks that we're going to look at. Still liking Tesla the most. Okay, Rblx is okay. All right, so Rblx, let's look at that. All right, so I'm gonna watch Rblx. Let's see if it stays in this channel. I appreciate it, Tom. I'm gonna create an alert for Rblx. Let's say value. Let's see. Get alert at 109. 20. Only once. Possible pre-market breakout. So I have my first alert that I'm going to send Rblx. I'll be looking at it. Market breakout. All right, so that's done. Let's look in the video. Oh, and the video's a beast. I don't know. The video's it's moving up quite a bit. It's already 1.3%. Yeah, it's moving up quite a bit already. The video. I don't know. I think it might spike a little bit more, but I think people are going to want to take profits. I mean, if it spikes to 309, I might buy a put on it. Yeah, if it, I'll watch it. But it's to me, it's like I don't know how to. It's kind of like in no man's land for me right now. If it spikes to me up here, I think it'll be good for a put, and if it crashes down to 304, then it would be good for a bounce. Let me look at RIVN. I had that on my watch list. I did a pre-market watch list. Things spiking already. And so I had this. I made a video. I wanted it to come down to this level down here. I was hoping it would crash. If it would have been a good play for me if it would have just crashed down here and then a bounce here. But it's still a lot of people are trading it. I mean, I'm surprised. It's spiking so early. No, this thing is probably going to crash when it opens. So it's going to get a little hype and then it's going to crash. So I'm hoping if it crashes enough, I would love for it to crash down here at 119. And then I would definitely consider buying some. So we have that. So look at it's breaking out of see here, it's breaking out of its bull flag. So people want to take profit up here. So it's doing this bull flag thing. Let's see, Airbnb. The 204.99 is holding pretty strong for Airbnb. That thing's been climbing up forever. So this consolidation here, this channel formed well, broke out this channel, and now see the previous resistance of the channel is holding as support. So this area here, this dotted line, this is a pivot point that's in is 204.97. So far it's holding. So we'll see what it does. So there's some day traders strategy, you know, they have these pivot points, they call them reverse points or just pivot points, and they look for like extreme movements to either pivot point, right? In a quick time. So like let's say within a few minutes it just crashes down to around here. Well then you're going to get an influx of buyers. So you set a limit to buy some here, and if you get filled, you know, it'll kind of just like bounce up. And then short sellers, which I'm not a short seller, but you know, they look for extremes in the opposite. So they want a bunch of hype, they want it to spike, and then they want to buy it like close to these pivot points, you know, buy a short sell it so that it can reverse quickly. See what Tesla's doing. Yeah, so this is I wish Tesla would have held this channel. I don't like that it broke out this channel because it's just not that it's not tradable, but you know, these stocks, they act in a certain pattern, they act in a certain way. So if they hold their channel, uh, and I lost track. Live streaming, I lost track here. So let's see. Let me put my another scanner up here. So look at Rblx. Didn't hold the channel, bounced down, crashed badly. Look at that. See what RIV is on. See. Hmm. Just waiting to see if anything looks interesting yet. Just want to take one trade and want it to be accurate, you know. I want to lose on my first trade here. Oh, Airbnb, look at that. mRNA looks like it might be reversing here. I wanted to see it come lower. The video looked crashed. So look at this. This would have been perfect to hit this. Just tap this 300. Just looking for one trade. I want to be green on the one trade and call it a day. What was the news for mRNA? I'd like to drop a little bit more. I might be. See if it drops a little bit more. No audio. You can't hear me? You guys are not able to hear me, you said? I think mRNA is gonna bounce from here. Would like to see another little flush. Just jump in for a quick move, but let's see what it does. Okay. Until so this is what day trading is, just being patient. Try to find a one trade. I usually have one trade within my hour or two, and I just want to be green on the first one. Yeah, I feel like I hesitated too much on mRNA. I was liking this one when it was hitting this pivot points here. Definitely missed that. I hesitated. I think it's going live. I get a little nervous. I just don't, I don't want to pick the wrong stock. But this, I definitely would. Man, it's too late now. But this was hitting my pivot points here. This is a strong pivot point here. These white and yellow ones, and it tapped it. Now it's all the way up to 230. Tom Nash, what's up, man? Yeah, I miss this interest here. You see, You see, I have these pivot points set right here. So this pivot point, it tapped the pivot point 225.83, and I I hesitated, man. I was just looking at I was watching this. I was coming down, and I was talking to you guys coming down, and I was waiting for it to hit these points here, and it did, and I didn't pull the trigger. Oh man. All right. So I definitely missed that trade. I was just watching it, and it was like a deer in the headlight. I just didn't pull the trigger. It's I don't do live stream too often, so all right, we'll watch the next trade. Let's look at Tesla here. You see how you see how the technical analysis, these stocks respect these pivot points. These are preset. Like you didn't watch me pivot these. These are like past support. And see how it gets to it, it bounces off of it. So like I said, it's not magic. Technical analysis is all mental. It's just picking points. Like you're looking back at history, you're looking back at the history of the stock, and you're picking points where historically traders see whenever it gets to those levels, that's where they buy. And that's it. That's it. It's nothing deeper than that. You know, don't let any guru sell you a special technical analysis type of secret sauce or something. I mean, it's all mental. I mean, these guys are just a bunch of scammers. We got RIVN. Like, we had this on our watch list from yesterday, but it didn't do what I wanted. So started to crash pre-market here, and I wanted to crash down to 119 to feel comfortable, and then reverse, but it just dropped to 126. It's got a mind of its own. So Rblx, look at this. Another perfect example with these pivot points. You see it drop below the pivot point a little, then above it a little, then it respected it. Then it went from 106 all the way to 108. So mRNA it's out now. I'm not gonna try to trade it now because I have the regret that I missed it. So Tesla, let's look at Tesla. $9.97 is strong support. Tesla might be in play here. If it can hold this 997, if it can give one more chance for interest, Coinbase. Look at coin. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. If it has a quick spike to 357, I might try some puts on it. Sell some buy some puts. EY. Let's see, EYPT. EYPT, it's going crazy here. All right. Okay, so this is going to be real important. If this area 997 doesn't hold on Tesla, I think it's going to flush. But let's see what Tesla does now. So I'm watching Tesla first. Coinbase seems interesting. The Intel's just kind of moving between 30 cents. It's hard to make any money on that day trade right now. Airbnb looks pretty good too right now. Looks like it's trying to form a channel. So let's see where Tesla. I like Tesla. I want to see a bigger flush. I mean, if it can go flush all the way to 989, which I doubt it'll do, but between 993 and 989, anything in between that, I might buy some calls. And that might be my one trade. Put Airbnb in second place here. mRNA, I'm putting it in last place because I'm gonna have FOMO if I keep looking at that. All right. So Airbnb, I like it because it's forming a channel. Tesla. But I wanted to find support here. I want a nice little bigger flush before I buy a dip buy on this. If it reverses from here, then it's all right. Then I missed it. But I would feel more comfortable if it flushed. Rblx. Oh, look, Rblx. It's going back to this channel area. Bounced nicely off of the 105. Wow, so I might buy one call. Should break that 109. Yeah, Rblx, man. My alert went off for it. See, it needs to break above that 190.50. That you see that line that is tapping. That 190.50 is strong resistance right now. I might bet just a few calls just to see if I can see if it breaks the 190. It needs to break the 190.50. Let's see. If it breaks that 190.50, that's going to be a good sign here. See, this is the line we had pre-market. See how it respects it? We made this line pre-market. We talked about this is the channel. So it needs to break out of this channel to possibly get up to like 110.40. But if it keeps tapping the top of this, which this is why technical analysis it's good for day trading. I mean, it's not good for fundamental long-term investing, but we made this pre-market. We talked about it pre-market. We drew this channel out, and look where it's tapping now. It's tapping this line that we made pre-market. Tapped it once, twice, 3 times it tapped it. If it keeps tapping it, then the people are going to just lose faith and they're going to sell it and it's going to come down. But if it breaks, then people that are waiting for that pre-market breakout, they're going to want to see it break, and then they're going to want to see it hold, and then they're going to become more bullish and more confident, and then you should see it move to the next level up. So let's see what happens here. The next candle doesn't break it. I think people are just going to get impatient with it. It's just not wanting to break that. It needs to break the 190.50 for the more buyers to come in. Yeah, see that? See how it just came down quickly? People are becoming impatient. They had tapped it once, tapped it twice, 3 times, 4 times. People are just getting impatient. So we'll see if it gets bought back up and they try to break it again. Tesla. Yeah, it's hard for me to trade Tesla at this time because it's going to have like these false breakouts a lot. For me to get into Tesla, I need like just a big flush. Like that's I would feel more comfortable with a big flush. Like this is hard to anticipate what's going to happen, right? Like if people jump in here, they're happy, and then this is in 1 minute. This candle, like, look, it went from 103 to 998, $5. It's so hard to anticipate this. Like, I can't trade this. I need like just an exaggerated move, and then I'll feel more comfortable. I just don't want to be wrong. Where was that? Rblx here. Look at this. It's trying it again. It's trying to break it again. It just keeps trying to break it. I mean, surprise. It's 5 times it's trying to break this line. These are lines. This line right here, we set this line pre-market. And it's just, if it breaks that, then it should have a little spike. Let's see. I have I do have five calls on it. This is a small position. I also have some old calls on Roku that's up today. It's down overall, but it's up today. It's up. Well, let's see. Just keeps tapping that 150. It just doesn't want to break it. Yeah, no problem. Oh, there we go. See that spike? Rblx. Told you. It's just waiting for that, waiting to break that 150. All right. Waiting to break. See, it was just waiting to break that area for the spike. This is a big, so fast. This is what people are waiting for that spike here. So that's day trading. You see that? Waiting for this. As soon as this broke, had a nice little spike. I didn't think it was going to pull back this fast, though. See what else Tesla. Oh, you see Airbnb bounced perfectly again off of this 206 to 208. Rblx. Testing that one. Oh, it's going to test it again. Rblx is just. Let's see. This thing is. It keeps holding here, 997. I don't feel like it's going to be support for much longer. I don't know. I think it's going to flush. So far, the best chart has been Airbnb. It's just been classic established support and resistance. See these white lines here? It's been support, and it hits resistance and support. This would have been a good entry when we were talking about it, but Intel going down. I didn't want to look at mRNA. You see now, okay, finally this broke. 997 broke. Wasn't able to hold. SSNT going crazy. What kind of stock is this? Let me check. But not going to trade SSNT. All right. Oh, Roblox, look at this, just crashed. The video looks good. Let me see if it could break 302.30. Maybe buy just one call. Give it a second. See if it pulls back a little first. Let's see a little bit more pullback, and I might just buy one call. Okay, I'm just gonna buy one call here in the video. So one call in the video, stop loss, keep it tight here, 300. Profit target 302.50. So might buy one more call here. It drops a little more. Needs to break 302 area. It's not holding. So the video is going to be my one trade. If it holds, let's see if it holds. Stop loss would be around 350, 55 cents, 58 cents. And I expect a spike if it breaks here, the 302.29. RIVN is still strong. Oh, Airbnb broke out of the support. Let's see what the overall market is doing. Overall market's going down, so everything else is going down with it. So I'm in the video so far, down 36 bucks. I did it with options, so less exposure, less risk, less potential to lose money. So my goal in the video, I'm holding it. I do have a stop loss. I think if it drops down here, I'll lose like 150 bucks or something like that, which I'm perfectly fine with. And at 301.58, my options are green. So I'm looking for a 302.27 to test it, break it, and then possibly spike to close to 303. So these are the kind of trades I like because I'm not risking a whole lot of money. I'm down $50. So this is acting as support. It's below VWAP. This is VWAP here. This line here, it's not able to break the VWAP. If it's able to break the VWAP, then it should spike. And if this is not able to hold, then it's definitely going to hit my stop loss. So it looks like it's not going to be able to hold. So I just may take a small loss here. Give it one more second here. Okay, so I hit my stop loss. So I hit my stop loss, lost 120 on that one. And the video is reversing again. This stock here, SSNT, is going crazy. But can't trade that. Look at Tesla. All right, so I missed out. This is a recap. Definitely missed out on the mRNA play. Missed out for that pivot point, and I just think that it just mentally threw me off. I was just so focused on this, and I don't know. I just lost focus. And I was looking at Tesla. I didn't want to get in if it's just like slowly dropping. I wanted to see like a quick flush. Like Tesla has those quick flushes sometimes. So I wanted to see a quick flush around here. Because usually the quick flush, you can find the support and then it'll get a quick bounce up. So that didn't happen. Airbnb still looks pretty good. I mean, it's finding support, it's finding resistance, it's finding lower support here now, but it's just, you see it's testing off this beautifully. And I don't have a lot of experience with Airbnb, but I think I'm definitely going to have to start watching Airbnb more because it seems like it respects the pivot points that I have set. So I'm definitely going to get more familiar with Airbnb. on my next trade. Tesla, I'm very comfortable with Tesla. I know Tesla acts. That's why I didn't want to jump in here, because I just wasn't comfortable with this move. I wanted to see like a quick flush, and then usually those quick flushes are pretty profitable. Airbnb, I'm going to start watching every day, get more familiar with it. I do like it just respects these pivot points. And go back more here. You see here, tap the pivot point, close to it, close to it. Once it broke it, then it went up to the next one. That's pretty predictable. It's not bad. Okay. Coin is interesting. Rblx, I mean, this is what I was waiting for the break of 109.50. I knew it was going to get volume, and it did. Look, it spiked up all the way to 110.29, but that was just kind of fast for anybody to make profit. I mean, I was expecting it to break it like it did here, but then hold it and find support. Nvidia's finding a lot of support down here. I got stopped out on this, you know. So this is like, look, I mean, I stopped myself out because I don't want to lose more than 100 something bucks, 120 bucks for every trade. You know, I was hoping to make $200 or $300, 1 to 3, which I'm fine with. So if I take 10 trades, right, and I have that mentality where kind of like that 1 for 3, so I'm risking 100 to make 300. I mean, you can pretty much be wrong half the time and still be profitable. Like if you're right the first 5 times and you make 1,500, and the last 5 you lose 500, you made 1,000, right? If you know, so you could even be wrong. You can even be right 40% of the time, and that's the power of taking these kind of like strategic trades. I had, you know, and here, look, if I would have not stuck to my plan, my stop loss plan of, you know, 350 area, 330 here, to lose that 120 or whatever, it dropped all the way down to 299. So my loss would have been now doubled, or 200 and something. But I was willing to risk the 120, you know, with the potential of making about 300. So if we do 10 of those trades, like I said, if we do 10 of those trades with that risk, you know, I just have to be right 40% of the time, right? 40% of the time. Let's say, just to make the numbers easy, it's at 300, 40%, 4 times 300 is 1,200. And if I was wrong the last 600 and I control myself like I did now, and take my stop losses, that's $600 loss. Or let's say, you know, an extra 20 for each one. Let's say, so let's just say even 750, you know, 750 minus 1,200, I'm still profitable at 40% success rate. So, I mean, that's how I'm able to keep longevity. I mean, so like some of these guys that make 10, 20, 30,000, they also lose 10, 20, 30,000. But they can trade like that because they rely on membership. You know, they have the confidence that, hey, every month I'm getting 30, 40, 50, $60,000 in membership fees, but I'm trading here for free, you know. And, you know, so we saw mRNA, we saw the potential as it was coming down here. I was talking about getting here, and I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger. I think I got to get used to trading in front of people. I don't have experience live streaming and trading in front of people, and that concern that I don't want you guys to lose. So, but this is all day I would have taken this, and so that's fine. But this would have been very profitable. 227, you buy some call options, and it hit all the way to 231. I mean, you definitely would have came off on your trade. But that's fine. That's a good learning lesson. Tesla, I'm very familiar with Tesla's patterns, and if this would have just like, I knew this wasn't going to be able to hold, but I was expecting like a flush. If I would have gotten a flush around here, I would have bought some calls, and then, you know, this thing flushes, and then it spikes up like $8, $7. It's just crazy profits. And And historically, I'm very accurate with Tesla. Like I mentioned about Airbnb, definitely want to start keeping this on my watch list more often. Coin is still interesting. Rblx, I don't like it. I don't like it too much. I mean, it broke out where it was supposed to break out, but usually, like when they break out this pre-market, they spike up just like this, but then they pull back, and this becomes support. Like this kind of becomes support, and then it goes higher, higher. Like that's usually how 60 to 70% of the pre-market trades, pre-market breakout trades. So you see, pre-market, we were talking about this. I said, this is setting up nice for a pre-market breakout. This is support. This is resistance. And it didn't hold, so I didn't pay attention to it. Then it came back in my target, and my alert went off, and I was expecting for it to break this, get this spike which we did get, but it was supposed to be sustainable, But so maybe there's just a lot of people, they want to take profits, and maybe a lot of people that bought up here and they're just looking to break even, and that's why it just spikes so quickly back down. Just have a bunch of people. So Nvidia, I lost money on it, 120. RIVN, it was on my weekly watch list, but it didn't. I was hoping for a crash down to 119. It didn't. It crashed from 129 all the way down to 126, and now it's at 139. So even though I had this on my watch list, it didn't drop to 119. It really didn't hit none of my pivot points. So even though I had this on my watch list, I didn't anticipate this. Investory, yeah, and Investory, he had he predicted it was usually support like 100, right? So we were both off, but yeah, this thing it's just not acting normally. So you see, I usually like get familiar with stocks. Like I said, like Tesla, I'm very familiar with Tesla, how to day trade Tesla. Give it time. Well, I mean, like with day trading, like I'm not looking to marry this stock, right? Day trading, that's why I said 119, because you could be right. Like you could say ultimately that 100 that you have support, but I don't know if you're coming from like a fundamental aspect where you want to buy 100 because you think it's good as a fundamental long-term play. Day trade is a whole different game. Like you see these points here, these are like really strong pivot point, reverse points, and 100 and lower. Yeah. But for day trade, I'm looking to jump in and jump out within minutes. Like this is just a day trade mentality. FOMO. Yeah, no doubt, man. People got FOMO. But so like mRNA, for example, right? We were looking at it. We wanted it to hit this pivot point here, which it did. Drop down, hit this pivot point. So this is a perfect entrance for a day trade, 225. And then you can, take profit against the next white and yellow, which are very strong. Yeah. Yeah, and Mr. Investoria, any comments, any call outs that he has? Investoria, he has a lot of experience trading, so definitely useful to have him here on the stream. But I think I'm going to wrap it up. That was my recap. I took one trade and didn't go the way I wanted. Nvidia, it didn't hold its points, and I missed the mRNA. It's a lot of hype in RIVN. And that's it. So any questions or any stocks that you guys want to look at before I go? I usually only trade for like an hour and a half, and I usually one trade max, whether it's a loss or a win. So that way I don't fall into FOMO. If there's nothing, I'll probably try to come back up Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have a green day Wednesday. No, thank you, man. Keep giving that feedback. I appreciate it.